will come moments in your life when the world seems to push every button you have, moments where everything feels designed to break you, delay you, frustrate you, or make you lose yourself. But remember this, life is not testing your limits, life is revealing your strength. But welcome to day 8, the day we talk about something every single one of us faces, being tested in ways that challenge our patience, our peace, and our character. Because patience isn't something you magically wake up with. Patience is something life trains into you. And that training doesn't show up wrapped in comfort. It shows up through disappointing delays, waiting, setbacks, uncertainty, and people who do the exact opposite of what you wish they would do. But the truth is this, you never know how strong your patience is until it's tested. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like everything was going the exact opposite direction of what you prayed for? You're trying your best, yet people misunderstand you. You're trying to stay calm, yet life keeps throwing chaos at you. You're trying to move forward, yet every step feels blocked. In those moments, the natural response is frustration, anger, doubt, or the urge to quit. But hear me, when life is testing your patience, it's not trying to break your spirit. It's trying to build your emotional stamina. Look at a muscle that grows under pressure. Look at diamonds, they form under pressure. Look at strong people, they are shaped under pressure. When everything is peaceful, anyone can be calm. When everything is easy, anyone can smile. When everything is working, anyone can feel grateful. But patience becomes real when the circumstances are not in your favor. Patience becomes power when you learn to stay centered even when your world feels off balance. And patience becomes a weapon when life expects you to react emotionally, but instead you respond with clarity. Let me share something that changes everything. The reason life tests your patience is because your next level requires emotional maturity, not emotional reaction. You cannot step into your purpose with the same level of calmness you had last year. You cannot build the life you want with the same tolerance you had yesterday. You cannot elevate while losing your peace every time something doesn't go your way. There is a version of you that can handle pressure differently. There is a version of you that does not get triggered by the same things anymore. There is a version of you that becomes unstoppable the moment you learn how to stay calm. And life introduces you to that version by putting you through uncomfortable moments. Now hear this, when you lose your patience, you lose your position. You lose the clarity that guides your decisions. You lose the power that keeps you aligned with your purpose. But when you remain calm, even in the mess, you shift the control from the situation back to yourself. Because peace is not the absence of storms. Peace is the inner confidence that the storm cannot move you anymore. Sometimes God delays things because he's preparing you. Other times he delays things because he's protecting you. And in many cases, he delays things because he's developing you. That delay you hate might be the very thing saving your future. That waiting period you resent might be the season building your wisdom, your discernment, your emotional self-control. Instead of asking, why has this happened to me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? Instead of saying, I'm tired of waiting, say, I'm being strengthened while I wait. Because as patience is not passive. Patience is not weakness. Patience is not settling. Patience is the quiet confidence that what is meant for you will not miss you. Patience is the maturity to respond, not react. Patience is the belief that timing matters more than speed. Life will always test your patience before it blesses you. This is a universal rule. You will face delays right before the breakthrough. You will face confusion right before clarity. You will face emotional pressure right before elevation. But remain calm, because your calmness protects your energy. Your calmness keeps you grounded. Your calmness stops you from making decisions based on frustration. Your calmness keeps your destiny intact. Think of the strongest people you admire. What do they all have in common? Consistency, composure, control. They don't break every time something goes wrong. They don't explode every time someone tests their patience. They don't allow temporary storms to destroy permanent goals. You are capable of that same strength. Today, on day 8, remind yourself, I don't need everything around me to be perfect. I don't need everything to go my way. I don't need everybody to understand me or treat me right. I just need to stay calm so I can stay aligned with my purpose. You are not being tested to be defeated. You are being tested to be developed. Your patience is your protection. Your calmness is your power. Your peace is your elevation. So when life tries to provoke you, breathe. When things take longer than expected, trust the timing. When people test your limits, hold your ground. When you feel like lashing out, pause. Every moment you choose calmness over chaos, you are stepping deeper to the strongest version of yourself. This is your reminder. Stay calm, stay present, Stay grounded. Your breakthrough is bigger than the test. There is a certain truth about patience that many people never realize until life forces them into uncomfortable situations. Patience isn't born from calm moments. It's sculpted through pressure. It's easy to assume that calmness is a natural trait, something some people simply have and others don't. But patience is not a gift. It is a muscle. And just like any muscle, it only grows when it is challenged, stretched, and stressed beyond its comfort zone. Life uses pressure as the gym that strengthens your inner stability. Think about the times when things were going smoothly. You were getting what you wanted on time. People were agreeable. The environment around you felt predictable and cooperative. In those moments, patience doesn't need to show up because patience is not tested by harmony, it's tested by friction. Only when the path becomes difficult do you discover whether patience truly exists within you. And life, in its subtle wisdom, knows exactly when and how to push you into situations that stretch your emotional boundaries. It sends inconveniences, delays, misunderstandings, and disappointments not to destroy your spirit, but to sharpen. There's a reason why the strongest people you know didn't become patient through comfort. They became patient because they lived through seasons where they had no other choice. They waited through uncertainty, endured setbacks they couldn't control, and held on when everything in them wanted to quit. Life placed them in situations that demanded endurance, and through those moments, they realized that patience is the art of holding your peace when everything around you is trying to provoke your reaction. It's the discipline of understanding that not every storm deserves your energy, and not every delay is a denial. Many times, pressure feels unfair. You pray for progress, but instead you face obstacles. You hope for clarity, but instead you face confusion. You want movement, but instead you find yourself standing still. In these moments, it's natural to feel frustrated. But what if the pressure isn't punishment? What if it's preparation? Life knows that without pressure, you would never grow into the version of yourself capable of handling the blessings you're asking for. People often want the outcome without the emotional maturity needed to sustain it. And so life sends tests. Not to break you, but to refine your capacity. Pressure exposes your triggers. It shows you areas where your emotional control still needs strengthening. It reveals the insecurities, the impulsive habits, the impatience that lies beneath the surface. Without pressure, these weaknesses remain hidden, and anything hidden has the power to sabotage you later. Life uses difficult moments to bring them to light so that you can confront them before they become bigger problems. When patience is tested, you're being given the opportunity to build a stronger internal foundation. And once that foundation is strengthened, nothing that once bothered you will have the same power over you again. Pressure is also a mirror. It reveals who you truly are, not the version you present when everything is smooth, but the version that emerges when things feel messy. Do you react with anger? Do you shut down? Do you panic? Do you blame others? Do you rush decisions? These reactions are not failures, they are signals. They show you where you still need to grow. And the moment you become aware of these reactions, you begin the process of mastering them. Patience is the mastery of self. It's understanding that you cannot control circumstances, but you can control your response. And life will continue to test you until your response becomes stronger than the situation. The beautiful thing about patience built through pressure is that once it becomes part of you, the world loses its ability to shake you so easily. You begin to walk through challenges with more confidence, not because you have fewer problems, but because you have learned how to remain grounded in the middle of them. Pressure no longer threatens you, it strengthens you. It becomes familiar, even useful, because you recognize its purpose. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start understanding this is happening for me. And that shift in perspective is where real empowerment begins. Every moment of discomfort becomes an invitation to grow. Every delay becomes an opportunity to build mental and emotional discipline. Every test becomes a training ground for the strength required for your future. Life stretches you because your future requires a version of you that is more composed, more resilient, more emotionally intelligent than the version you are right now. And the only way to build that version is by moving through pressure, not avoiding it. When patience is built through these tests, you begin to respond differently. You stop rushing outcomes. You stop demanding instant results. You stop letting temporary frustrations dictate your long-term goals. You learn to breathe through difficulty instead of reacting to it. You learn to trust the timing instead of fighting against it. You learn to see pressure as part of your evolution instead of an interruption to it. And one day, without even realizing it, you'll look back at a situation that once overwhelmed you and say, I handled it differently this time. That is patience. That is growth. That is the strength life built inside you when it tested you through pressure. Calmness is one of the most underrated forms of power a person can possess. People often think strength is shown through loudness, aggression, or dominance, but true strength rarely looks like that. Real strength is quiet. Real strength is measured in the moments when you could react, but you choose not to. When you could argue, but you stay centered. When you could let anger take over, but you hold on to your peace instead. Calmness isn't the absence of emotion. It's the mastery of it. It's the point where your emotions serve you instead of controlling you. There comes a moment in every challenge where you feel the urge to respond out of frustration. Your heart races, your thoughts speed up, everything inside you wants to do something, say something, lash out, or defend yourself. This is the moment where calmness becomes a form of self-protection. Because when you let your emotions take the lead, your clarity disappears. You lose the ability to think accurately. You lose perspective. You lose control over the situation. But when you stay calm, things slow down inside you, even if everything around you is moving fast. Calmness gives you the space to see things as they are instead of how they feel in the moment. There's a reason emotional reactions often create the biggest regrets. They're instantaneous. They come from impulse, not intention. They come from old wounds, not present wisdom. But calmness puts time between the situation and your response. That time, even if only a few seconds, changes everything. It protects your dignity, protects your relationships. It protects your long-term goals. Calmness gives you options. Reaction limits them. When you're calm, you can think with accuracy instead of intensity. You can understand instead of assume. You can observe instead of explode. You gain the ability to choose the response that best serves you, rather than the one that simply satisfies the emotion of the moment. Calmness is a kind of intelligence. It is the ability to regulate yourself, to stay grounded in your values, to refuse to let temporary emotions sabotage permanent intentions. Sometimes the biggest battles we fight are not with people, but with our own impulses. The part of you that wants to clap back, the part that wants to slam the door, the part that wants to quit, the part that wants instant justice. Calmness interrupts that pattern. It does not suppress your emotions. It organizes them. It allows you to feel what you feel without becoming what you feel. You stop letting the situation dictate your identity. You stop letting someone else's behavior write your character. There is a type of strength that comes from choosing peace, even when chaos tries to drag you in. It's the strength that shows you've matured beyond reaction. You've grown past the need to match someone's disrespect or mirror their negativity. You don't rise to every bait. You don't attend every argument you are invited to. You don't participate in every drama that tries to recruit you. Calmness makes you selective, not passive. It turns you into the kind of person who knows their energy is too valuable to waste. Life becomes clearer when you're calm. You begin to see the intentions behind people's words, the patterns behind their actions, and the truth behind their behavior. Emotional storms cloud perception, but calmness makes everything visible. Your decision-making improves. You start making choices from logic, vision, and purpose, not impulse, anger, or fear. Calmness restores your power because it keeps you aligned with who you want to be instead of who the moment tempts you to become. The world will always present opportunities to lose your calm. Traffic delays, disrespect, misunderstandings, financial stress, unexpected problems, emotional triggers. Life doesn't run out of ways to test your patience, but you have to understand that every one of those tests is really a question. Will you choose reaction or will you choose control? Calmness is control. Control over your thoughts, control over your actions, control over the energy you allow into your inner space. When you remain calm, you don't just protect yourself. You gain influence. People trust calm individuals. They listen to them. They look to them for guidance. Calmness earns respect because it shows inner stability. It shows that your emotions don't own you. It shows that you can handle pressure without falling apart. Calm leaders, calm partners, calm parents, calm individuals are the ones who bring balance into chaotic environments. They stabilize others through their presence. They communicate more clearly, think more strategically, and resolve conflicts with more wisdom. And calmness doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean you suppress how you truly feel. It simply means you choose your timing. You choose your words. You choose your reactions. You choose to respond from a place of clarity rather than confusion. Calmness makes you powerful because it makes you intentional. It gives you the ability to steer your life instead of being tossed around by every emotional wave that comes your way. There is nothing weak about calmness. It takes far more strength to remain composed than it does to explode. Anyone can yell. Anyone can overact. Anyone can lose themselves in frustration. But to stay steady in the storm, to breathe when your mind wants to panic, to think when your emotions want to dominate, to stay grounded when the world tries to provoke you, that is power. That is growth. That is the quiet force that separates the strong from the reactive. Calmness isn't a lack of emotion. It is the victory over it. Delays are one of life's most misunderstood experiences. People often see waiting as wasted time, as if nothing is happening simply because they cannot see anything moving on the surface. But delays are rarely empty. They are seasons where the most important growth happens beneath the surface, quietly shaping you into the person who can handle what you're asking for. It's hard to recognize this when you're in the middle of a waiting period. You feel stuck, stagnant, overlooked, or forgotten. You question your choices, question your timing, question your direction, and sometimes even question yourself. But what you don't realize is that development is happening in the background, even when the foreground feels silent. There are moments where you want answers right now, solutions right now, progress right now. The heart naturally wants movement. But if life gave you everything instantly, you wouldn't build the strength, wisdom, or resilience required to sustain it. Delays are not a punishment, they're a preparation. They allow you to grow into the version of yourself who can manage the blessing without breaking under its weight. Because blessings come with responsibility, opportunities come with pressure, and elevation comes with expectations. The waiting period is where you build the character necessary to carry what's coming. Sometimes you're delayed because life is protecting you. You think you're ready for something simply because you want it. But desire and readiness are not the same. There are situations that look attractive now but would overwhelm you if they arrive too soon. There are people you think you want in your life who would delay you if you met them now. There are opportunities you believe you're prepared for that would crush you with pressure you haven't learned to handle yet. The delay is not rejection. It's redirection. It's life moving things around so that when the moment finally arrives, it fits you, supports you, and serves your growth instead of damaging it. In waiting periods, your patience is refined, your expectations are reset, and your clarity sharpens. You start to understand what truly matters and what doesn't. You shed some of your impulsive tendencies. You learn to trust timing instead of forcing things into place. You learn to listen to your intuition instead of rushing decisions out of desperation. You begin to operate with intention instead of anxiety. All of this development takes time, and that time is the delay you often wish would disappear. One of the most powerful things about delays is that they reveal your belief system. When everything is going well, faith is easy, confidence is easy, hope is easy. But in the waiting, your internal dialogue becomes louder. You question whether you are enough. You question whether life is working in your favor. You question whether anything will ever change. These thoughts are not signs of weakness. They are invitations to deepen your trust. Waiting tests you because trust has to be strengthened under pressure. Trust built without pressure is fragile, but trust built through difficulty becomes unbreakable. And life wants you to develop that unbreakable trust before you reach the next stage. Delays also give you a chance to clean up the parts of yourself that would sabotage your progress later. Maybe it's emotional habits. Maybe it's a lack of discipline. Maybe it's unresolved wounds. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's the inability to commit. Maybe it's the tendency to run when things get difficult. If life gave you what you want before you dealt with these things, you would lose it. The delay gives you space to grow out of old patterns and into the version of yourself who can sustain success. There's a quiet transformation happening during delays that you often don't notice. You become more patient. You become more grounded. You become more resilient. You begin to recognize your own strength. You start seeing yourself differently. You develop emotional stamina. You learn how to remain calm in uncertainty. These qualities don't come from things happening fast. They come from things happening slowly. They are the hidden gifts of waiting. And then something else happens. Your relationship with time evolves. You stop seeing waiting as a waste. You stop seeing delays as failure. You stop seeing slow seasons as punishment. Instead, you begin to understand that timing is everything. You realize that something arriving too soon can be just as damaging as something arriving too late. You learn to appreciate the balance of preparation and patience. You begin to trust that everything that is meant for you is already moving towards you, just not on your schedule, on the schedule that protects you and positions you for long-term success. Nothing in nature grows instantly. Trees, flowers, oceans, mountains, all things that last develop slowly. The same is true for you. The parts of yourself that will carry you through life, character, wisdom, strength, clarity, need time to solidify. Delays are where they strengthen. One day, you will look back at the moments that frustrated you, the seasons that felt stagnant, the prayers that seemed unanswered, and you will understand exactly why life made you wait. You will realize that every delay was rearranging your path, shaping your identity, and preparing your spirit for the door it was opening. You will see that nothing was wasted, and every moment was designed to develop you into the person capable of receiving what was always meant for you. So the next time you find yourself in a season of waiting, a moment of delay, or a stretch of silence that feels longer than you expected, remind yourself that you are not being ignored and you are not being held back. You are being prepared. Every slow step, every unanswered question, every moment of stillness is shaping you into someone wiser, stronger, and more capable than you were before. Life is aligning things in ways you cannot yet see, and when the timing is right, everything you've been waiting for will arrive with clarity and purpose. This is your moment to choose trust over panic, patience over pressure, and faith over frustration. Don't rush what's meant to grow you. Don't quit what's shaping you. And don't doubt the process that is silently guiding you towards something bigger than you can imagine. Your call to action is simple: stay committed to your growth. Stay grounded in your calmness. Stay open to the lessons that delays are trying to teach you. Carry this with you today. You are not behind. You are being built. You are not delayed. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. Take a breath. Trust the timing and step forward with the confidence that your breakthrough is not just coming, it's already on its way.